Oh, hello, and welcome to Al Dente Rigor Mortis. I'm the gamer in yellow.
And I'm Mikey. The E stands for evil.
And tonight we are... No, he actually... I should really write down his intro, too. I have his outro. I did not write down the intro. This is fine. Leave it in. And we review creepypastas. They're creepy and all that shit. I don't remember what it is. You guys know.
Yeah. And we're here to review those stories most creepy and most pasta.
And be critically silly doing it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Of course, yes. You would think that would retain in my long-term memory at some point after hundreds of episodes. But when put on the spot, it's like if you go up to someone and say, tell me a funny joke. They're like, you know, they might know a million jokes, but to some people, put on the spot, they can't necessarily access that part of their memory. But I'm on a huge tangent now. I'm going to stop before the tangent police kick down the door. We're doing a creepypasta called Persuaded on the Creepypasta Fandom wiki by Stuart from 2011. And I guess we'll do initial recommendations before we jump into the rundown and everything.
Yep.
So I'm going to recommend it. How about you?
I'm not going to recommend it.
Excellent. Very yang to my yin. Let's see if that could sway one way or another and just become gray. Just in the middle. By the end, we're both like, eh. But without further ado, I will get on to the rundown. So 2 weeks ago, something horrible happened. An oil tanker spilled out in the water, contaminating local wildlife and trapping the crew inside. Rescue workers went in to save the people and animals, but the animals had become aggressive, biting some of the people trying to save them. And all of this is on the news, of course. The trapped crew were demanding to be let out, and once they were cut free, that's when they realized they fucked up. The crew attacked the rescue workers like feral animals, as did the rescue team that were helping the animals. And this is basically how the zombie apocalypse started, at least in this universe. 4 days later, the zombies arrived at Nair's town, because we don't have a name for the character, so he is Nair Ator, our favorite character. Watching the neighbor across the street, he watches him getting killed, basically. The zombies just bursting through his window and just chasing him down and getting him. So Nair decides to barricade their house and hides in their bathroom to wait them out. But upon doing so, one of the zombies spots Nair, like, prepping his house, and Nair's pretty sure that they know he's there already. After 2 years. However, after 2 hours of quiet, after 2 hours of quiet, the sounds of one of them crashing through his barricade could be heard, and running around his apartment screaming as a bunch of them came in and started searching. Eventually, noticing that he was locked in the bathroom. But the oddest thing happened. They quietly said, "Why don't you open the door?" Or something like that. Nair catches a peek of them with a mirror, like underneath the door somehow, seeing their unblinking eyes and their blood-covered faces. And for 2 days, they stayed there at his door, just asking him to open the door, and Nair's starting to think that he probably just should. Like, it's a good idea now. Finn, that's it. So, from there, we will get on to any grammar-related stuff we have. I guess starting with you, Mikey, or should I start? Because I'm host now. Doesn't really matter. You go, Mikey. You're normally second, so go. Do you have anything grammar-related?
I have a conjunction junction.
Hell yeah. I started reading this, and it's like, yep, it's going to happen. There were a lot of hits at the very start. To preface this, Mikey grabs all the sentences in the story that start with words that they probably shouldn't, like its, ends, or buts, because there's always better words to use. strings them into a story with sometimes hilarious results. And without further ado, the Conjunction Junction.
It's been 2 weeks since this whole thing started. It began with a tanker accident. It was all over the news. But that's when it all went to hell, as soon as they cut the door open. It was worse than any war zone report. It was sheer brutality, and yet the broadcast went on for 6 whole minutes. It wasn't the infection we were afraid of. It was them. It's in every zombie movie ever. It actually got quieter, and I thought they might have moved on. It was the sound of someone running into it at full force, knocking down the barricade I'd put up, and then more of them. It's not so bad. Finn.
Wow. That's a very succinct rundown to the actual story, honestly. I do appreciate that there was it went in with full force. Every time I hear that, it brings me back to the origin of your It stories with It was a squirrel. Or no, it came at them with full force. It was a squirrel. Which was so good. But yeah, the way that this one was kind of sounding, it was almost like the whole thing was just him watching the news and like all the events that happened on the news until it said broke through my barricade. Unless he's sitting there watching the news, watching his own house being broken into, but he can't pull himself from the TV to do anything about it. It's like, wow, that house looks a lot like mine.
Yep. Alright. So, do you have any conjunction, or not conjunction, grammar?
I also wrote a conjunction junction. You're right. No, I did not. I do have one grammar in yellow, though. It might be my fault, but I don't think it is. But the fact that I can think that it's possibly my fault and possibly not is because it's probably not written as clear as it should. So that's why I'm bringing it up. Everyone thought it was just another oil spill. There were plenty of volunteers, there's a dash, kind people wanting to help the poor, defenseless animals. Lots of victims. So the way that I read it was, there were plenty of volunteers, kind people wanting to help the poor, defenseless animals, lots of victims. I read it like it was a list, like it was listing 4 different things. Like there were volunteers, nice people wanting to help the poor, defenseless animals, and they all became victims, or also victims. Meanwhile, it's not meant to be like that, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's meant to be like, the volunteers were kind people that were wanting to help the animals. Because of this, there were a lot of victims. Like, a lot of victims as in, like, there's a lot of volunteers there, and writing this in the future, you know that because there's a lot of volunteers, those volunteers all turned into victims. I think that's the way it's meant to be portrayed, right?
Uh-huh.
So the way that I would fix that is, there were plenty of kind-hearted volunteers to help the defenseless animals. Because of this, lots of victims too.
Uh-huh.
So then it's not doing like this weird list but not list, and an unnecessary dash. Yeah.
And just one more thing. I think I found an italicized word. So,
how dare you? Is there really?
Yeah. They were aware, and aware is italicized.
Oh my god, it is. You see, this is why I hate italics. You cannot see them. Did you notice them the first way through?
Nope.
Case in point, we both completely missed important emphasis. That the line that you're speaking to is, they were unstoppable. They were aware. A group of them, blah, 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 blah. But the way it's supposed to be, considering there's emphasis on that, is they were unstoppable. They were aware. Like, it's supposed to be louder. All caps. Do it. That's how it's supposed to be done, in my opinion. In my horribly undereducated opinion on this matter. Damn italics. They can burn in hell. But from there, if we're both done, we can move on to our actual notes.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. You can go first.
Oh, I get to go first, do I?
You do. Why not?
All right. So, the first and main thought I have here. So, the zombies, they knock down his door that he has reinforced.
Yes, I know where you're going. Please continue.
And,
I'm with you.
And yet, he goes to the bathroom, doesn't reinforce the door in the bathroom, he just uses the bathroom lock.
Yes.
And for some reason, the zombies can't get to him because it's just a regular door with a regular lock.
You're assuming it's a regular door with a regular lock. For all we know, he has, like, the most horrendous shits physically possible. So, like, he has, like, a vault door that's, like, hermetically sealed. So, like, that biohazard can never escape. So that might actually be the strongest door in the whole house.
Okay, but then how does he survive? Because I assume it's airtight.
There's an air system in there. There's air pumping through the house with the air conditioning and stuff.
Yeah.
Or maybe he has oxygen in there. I don't know. Also, everything I said is just bullshit, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yes.
But yes, it is strange that they can break in and then they just don't break down the final door.
Yeah. And then, because they don't break down the final door, they, quote unquote, persuade him to open the door.
Yeah.
Like, they have brute force to get the door down, yet they have to persuade him.
Of course, because these are Canadian zombies, you see. They are the nicest, most polite zombies ever.
So, then how did they knock down the first door?
Oh no, they'll knock down as many doors as they want. But once they approach their target, their new employee or whatever they want to call them, because like they're basically just hiring them on to join their mob. Like, and they don't want to hurt them because like they need an able-bodied person to join their mob. If they just eat them, then that doesn't help. Ignore the fact that their faces are covered in blood and that they've previously ripped and teared flesh. But yeah, I don't know. They prefer persuasion for some reason. Long-term persuasion over multiple days.
And then my other note here is that we don't get a lot of persuasion. Like,
I'm sorry?
All we get is these 4 lines potentially over and over.
That's a lot of persuasion over 2 days. Solid of multiple zombies standing out the door, repeating the same line over and over and over and over and over again.
But you think that they would, have more persuasion, like, we have cookies out here, or puppies, or
they're undead, basically. They can only think so much. Also, it's like it's death of 1,000 cuts kind of deal. Like, you just eventually you're gonna roll a 20 when you do your persuasion check. You just keep rolling those dice. Eventually, you'll get there. That's what that is.
Oh, okay. That's what it is. Is that they just kept using persuade, and it's not effective until it is.
Exactly. Either through the victim being tired or low energy because he's not sleeping and or eating, or just through the brute force of asking the same question over and over again could just harass the guy into giving up. It is strange, though. But the strangeness is what I like about this. Because if they just broke down the door and killed him, then congrats. You wrote a very generic, standard zombie story. That's what all of them do. This one actually makes you think, being like, why are they thinking? I say that they with all caps, not with italics. Because they normally don't. As far like what we know about most zombies is not what's actually happening. It's like all that prep work watching zombie movies has done nothing for this poor soul.
Yeah, well, I guess the my main beef is that they clearly knocked down a barricaded door. Yet it seems like on the ship even that they had to persuade people to open the door. So what makes it so that they can or can't take out a door?
Proximity to human flesh, I would say.
Yeah,
that's the best I can go with, because it's like,
but
if there's go ahead.
If that were the case, then on the ship all the doors would have been destroyed because, everyone was infected on the ship.
Well, no, there were people infected inside the ship, and then the rescue people had to go get them out because it was like steel doors that they couldn't break through. Because they're not all supermen with like superhuman levels of strength. They probably have like mundane human, but like fully like with your full potential unlocked kind of deal, full adrenaline kind of strength. That's not the kind of strength that you're going to break down metal doors with on a ship. Hence why they were asking to, or why they couldn't break the door down before people got there. But when people got there, they were asking politely but aggressively to be let out. So the best I can come up with that is not written in the story at all is just when they're in proximity of humans, like they're not as feral. Because it was said before that they were straight up feral. Actually, no, wait. It was feral when they were let out. Actually, that's very in proximity of humans. I don't know. Every time I think I have an answer to the question, I'm like, no, wait, that's wrong. It is strange. Because they also consume them to a point. So it's not like they're trying to preserve the body. Because if it's a bathroom, it's small. You break the door down, you're going to be sending splinters into the guy. So yeah, I don't know. They just do. It's one of those unknowable things.
Yeah. All right. I guess onwards to my next actual thought. So, this story, as we know, features zombies.
Yes.
And my personal issue with this is that zombies have been done to death.
Unintentional joke or intentional joke?
Oh, it's intentional.
Hell yeah.
But that being said, this says it was written in 2011. And if we go into this time machine here and go back to 2011, we had the 2 Left 4 Dead games had been released, one in 2008, one in 2009. And the Walking Dead TV show had released at least its first season by 2010. So basically, this was written in the height of zombie popularity.
Yes.
So if I look through the lens of the time machine, this I might have enjoyed it better back then. But as I am now in 2025, zombies are dead to me. So
they're always dead to everyone.
Yeah.
Including themselves.
So I didn't get as much enjoyment out of it because of said whatever.
Because of said whatever. Yeah, I'm with you. I get you. I mean, yeah, they are absolutely, like, there's zombies everywhere. It's like, it's one of the defaults, but it's one of the defaults for a reason, because there is a lot of good, like, premise with it and the things that you can do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a point where you need to stop. Not that this one shouldn't have been written, because it was obviously also written during the height of it when everyone was way into it way more. But I don't know. You say that zombies are completely dead. I'm sure everyone would love to have a Left 4 Dead 3 show up, or hell, a Back 4 Blood 2.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So, Left 4 Dead 3 isn't going to happen because of Valve's fear of threes.
Yeah, they're scared of that number.
And then,
which honestly, like, slight tangent, I'm starting to understand their fear of threes. Because there's a number of 3-related games that came out recently that absolutely fucking tanked. Sorry for my language. But they tanked compared to their 2 counterparts. So they might just be very savvy with that. Please continue.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then Back 4 Blood, I think the developer either disbanded or is onto a different project that isn't zombie related. So
probably also not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Or it might have been caught in the whole Embracer Group issue. Because a lot of studios died in the wake of that. So,
but regardless,
that's neither here nor there. And then, just going back to my personal view of zombies. So, for me, zombies sort of fell off around season 4 of The Walking Dead. But then,
oddly specific.
But then that might also be because in season 4 it became more of a drama show than a zombie show. It's just a drama show with zombies.
It's a drama show that just so happens to be happening in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. So, and there wasn't enough characters dying, so I was like,
There wasn't enough?
Yeah.
Oh, so you need more bloodshed. That was the problem.
There's too much plot armor.
Well, it's because by then they're all like seasoned veterans and they know what they're doing, you know. I don't know. Well, I've never seen the show.
But in contrast, like the first couple seasons, people were dying left and right and whatnot, but then that's before they had, I guess, more solidified actors, I guess. I don't know. But
and also, like, okay, I have not seen the show. I know very little about it, but I'm assuming the first few seasons happened at the outbreak, right?
Yeah, or soon after, where you're slowly drip-fed information about how the zombie outbreak happened type thing.
Yes, so at the start of the outbreak is where most of the deaths are going to happen because A, the population's huge, and B, there's less people that know that the zombies are a thing until they show up in their front door, and also they don't really know how to deal with them. So as the story goes on, there should be less deaths happening because those that have survived to season 4, I'm going to arbitrarily say that's 4 years later. It's not, I'm sure, but if you've survived that long, you know how to survive. So it's going to be harder to kill these characters. They've already killed the red shirts, is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's the way I'm seeing it.
Yeah, potentially.
But I understand. Bloodshed.
Yeah. Yeah. And those are my actual thoughts.
So basically, this was doomed from the get-go because it was zombie-related for you? Just because you're tired of them?
Yep.
Did you at least appreciate the difference, though? Like, the fact that they are at least somewhat intelligent?
Well...
Because that's what I said before. Like, if this was just... they broke down the door and ate them, congrats, you wrote a zombie show, or a zombie story. But they actually do something different. There's a reason that this is here.
Well, I don't know. Basically, the fact that they say the same thing for 2 days, they might as well just be zombie parrots.
I mean, they are. They absolutely are. That's exactly what they are.
Yeah, but, I mean, that would at least be a different take on it, because you have birds that are sitting outside the door, waiting.
But it is already a different take because they can speak and think to an extent.
Well, the problem is there's another zombie TV show.
Uh-oh.
I forget what its name is. But basically, there's a zombie outbreak in a facility. And the zombies, there's actually like head zombies that are very intelligent.
Leader zombies. I thought you meant zombies that were just heads. I honestly thought you were saying that. I'm not just trying to be a goof.
Yeah. Well, so leader zombies, yeah.
Yes.
And basically, it's a genetics thing where if your genetics allow, you retain your memories, and as such, you actually gain control of other zombies.
Interesting.
And if I remember correctly, season 2 is basically about zombies among us type thing, because the super smart zombies are basically undead and can rule in the shadows.
So when you say zombies among us, do you mean like zombies but Among Us the video game, or there are zombies among us that we don't know that they're zombies, which I guess is also Among Us the video game?
Yes.
Both.
Well, basically, it was a thing saying that corporations, or the people that run the corporations, are zombies, and they're it's why things don't change, because the corporations are controlling the humans, which are basically the livestock, for their zombie purposes.
That sounds like a hot take just on like corporations in general.
Yeah. And I forget what that was called.
I guess also thinking about it, Red Markets, the tabletop game, the infected there are also somewhat intelligent because they say that they're sorry as they're murdering people. So like their consciousness is just taking a back seat while they're being puppeted.
Yeah, so there are intelligent zombies out there. So now whether or not this was one of the first iterations of that, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess we move on to my notes now.
Sure.
Unless you have more.
Nope, that's it.
Alrighty. Honestly, I think one of my notes is just what we just talked about anyways, so I'll just mark that one on. But I'll just elaborate on it though, basically that like your problem with it is what sounds like is probably the reason you don't recommend this is the reason I recommend it. You don't recommend it, I'm assuming because A, it's zombies, and B, it's confusing and weird that they didn't just attack and kill, that they're trying to convince. But I'm actually recommending it so far because they're different and they don't just attack and break down the door. The fact that it's like at least somewhat thought-provoking as to like what the hell's going on and they're a little different is what I appreciate. But yeah, my only other note is is this line here. Those that had been attacked by animals were attacking everyone else. It was worse than any war zone report. It was sheer brutality, and yet the broadcast went on for 6 whole minutes. So as soon as I read that, I'm like, that's a long time to hold on this. And I hope we find out why the broadcast continued for 6 minutes showing carnage on national TV. Because realistically, they would have cut it so fast, or they would have cut that really quickly.
Yeah, well, it depends where it happened. But yeah, because that's on the rig, right?
Yeah, like there's an overturned tanker out in the water spilling oil everywhere, I assume.
Yeah.
But it's happening on the water and also on the land because like it's the oil's like getting onto the beach and there's other animals getting affected by it, and that's why there's people on the land that are treating the animals.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is that maybe they had a live coverage type thing, but then
absolutely.
But then somebody that's at the broadcasting station forgot to flip the switch to turn it off.
Oh, so just a complete accident. Like he's so enthralled by what's happening that he just has to keep watching and he doesn't realize, like, oh shit, we shouldn't be showing this.
Oh, and I found the name of the zombie TV show that I was mentioning. It's called Helix.
I've not heard of it.
And the first season takes part, I think, in an Arctic laboratory, so basically away from civilization, so they can study the zombies or whatever. Or they can do their research in quiet, and then there's a zombie outbreak.
Yes. Yeah. In regards to my note, update to that, basically at the end of the story, we did not find out why they kept the show rolling. And honestly, like adding that it ran for 6 minutes didn't really add much to the story anyways, if I'm being honest. But I do wish there was something to at least try to explain why it kept going. Like the news anchor was persistent and like kept trying to show everyone what was happening, begging the news station to keep their feed on so people would know what's happening. Something like that. Because otherwise, as I said before, I'm assuming they would have cut it back at the station. Like maybe the reporter and the camera person would have kept recording to put up recordings after the fact, but the live feed wouldn't have kept going.
Yeah.
I think that's just about everything I have for main notes. So I guess we're on to final thoughts. So what do you think? Have your thoughts changed at all?
Not really.
Fair.
Yeah, the for me, the fact that they kept saying the same things over and over in whispered voices, that I'm assuming he has to be up against the door to hear.
They were whispered. That doesn't really help his case.
Yeah. So it just, that whole thing is like, and I mean, when you hear something over and over and over again, you will tune it out. So, or you can tune it out, because I mean, it's the same thing. It's a natural response to just not notice things because it's always there type thing.
Yeah.
So the whole persuasion, I feel there needs to be more to make it what do I want to say? To make it more relevant to the story. Like, not just, I put Persuaded as the title of this story, and then the persuasion happens at the end. So, like, if there was more persuasion throughout, and not just at the oil rig or whatever, I might give this.
You would have liked it better if basically there's a bunch of crashing and stuff happening, and then he's hearing some people trying to persuade him to open it, pretending to be his neighbor across the street or something. And then he's like, "Oh, okay, Bill. Okay, great." Opens the door, and then it's a zombie of Bill because his brain has been taken over by them. And then he gives chase and has to run somewhere else and hide. And then they try to persuade him a different way. That kind of deal.
Maybe.
Cool.
Oh well, as long as it becomes a more prominent topic in the story.
Well, as it is, it seems like it's the primary way that they get to attack people. Well, kind of, because Across the Way wasn't, but yeah.
Yeah. The problem is it didn't persuade me.
Nice. So you yourself needed to be persuaded to believe that the character would have been persuaded as well.
Yes.
You know what? Fair point.
So yeah. That said, I'm still not going to recommend this.
Okay. Well, for me, reading through it, I honestly didn't mind it because it's a slightly fresh take on zombies, especially back then, I guess. Because since then, there's been semi-intelligent or very intelligent zombies, as we mentioned, but back then probably less so. And like, it's fresh take while they're also like, it's a semi-realistic perspective on it. Like, there wasn't too many like Derplin moments where like the characters are being dumb one way or another. Like, it seemed pretty competent in the way that all the human beings reacted to things. The strangeness was simply the behavior of the zombies, which, while confusing, I at least appreciated it. I appreciated that they're trying to go for a different sort of take on zombies. And that's why I originally said that I would fully recommend it, because I appreciated that take. But through our discussion, like, there are things that could be changed on this to make it make more sense and be more believable, and at least give the reader some sort of inkling as to why the zombies stopped just bashing down the door. So I'm gonna switch to a partial recommendation, because while I appreciate the premise, the execution could use a little bit of work. Because you brought up some very valid points that I cannot avoid now. So yeah, I guess that's about it. So a not recommendation and a partial recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
But so I guess that's it for tonight. If you like what you heard, or if you didn't, leave us a comment wherever this gets posted. Mikey is on Blue Sky at E Stands for Evil, and the absent Review Cultist is also there as Review Cultist. I probably should have mentioned that Review Cultist isn't here. I just kind of went into this like it was normal. It's not normal. But yeah, he couldn't make it, so we're doing this now. But regardless, Review Cultist is on Blue Sky at Review Cultist, and I am not, because I don't want to be. You can email us at aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. That's ALDENTERIGAMORTIS@gmail.com. Yes, it's spelt wrong, because even our branding can't escape the Grammar Inquisition. But feel free to send us suggestions for other creepypastas, SCP, spooky things. You creep it, we'll peep it. Yeah! Yep. If you'd like to support us financially, we have a Patreon. Over there, we have special episodes, early access, extra content. To all of our patrons that are helping support the show, thank you immensely. You are helping keep those hosting bills at bay, and we very much appreciate that. And to our listeners and the authors of these stories, thank you immensely. Because without your listenership, it'd be like screaming into the void. And without your authorship, we really wouldn't have much of a show, because we would have nothing to talk about. So, thank you. We're also part of an actual play and creepypasta podcast network called Crit in the Night. We're there alongside our sister podcast, One Less Die, and our cousin podcast, The Role Playing Exchange, for things that go crit in the night. Until next time, I've been your host, The Gamer in Yellow.
And I'm Mikey, the Stands for Evil.
And this has been Al Dente Rigamortis. See ya.